page 242. The percentage of unemployed workers in service occupations can be modeled by, and they are giving us P of x equals negative 0.039 x to the third plus 0.594 x squared minus 1.967 x plus 7.555, where x is the number of years since 2003. So I make myself a note for that. X equals 0 represents 2003. According to this model, in what year during the period 2003 to 2013 was this percentage a maximum? So I'm asked to find the maximum. Find max P of x. Okay, what do we need to do? Anyone?
Find the derivative of
Excellent. P prime of x. So I have negative 0.7211 x squared plus, so that's an 8, that's 1 and 1, x minus 1.967. What do I do next?
See where it equals 0.
Excellent. Yeah, awesome. So P prime of x equals 0. This is a mess. I will also multiply both sides by negative 1. 0.117 x squared minus 1.188 x plus 1.967 equals 0. And now, of course, I have to use the quadratic formula. So 1.188 plus or minus the square root from this, minus 4 times 0.117 times 1.967, divided by 2a, 2 times 0.117. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. So the square root, I'm sorry, parentheses first, I meant to say, 1.188 plus the square root now, parentheses, 1.188 squared, and then minus 4 times 0.117 times 1.967. Close the parenthesis, go outside, close the parenthesis, and divide in parentheses by 2 times 0.117, close the parenthesis, and just redo and overwrite right here, minus. Okay, so I got that x equals 8.1 and x equals 2.1. Stop sharing. Do not write this is a maximum or this is a minimum without showing why. Again, this is extremely important. So P prime and P of x. So we have since we are talking about between the years of 0 and 10, 2003, which is 0, and 2013, which is 10 years later. So this is 2.1 and 8.1. And now the quadratic function, when I plug in 0 on this side, it will be negative. And if I plug in 10, it's guaranteed to be negative. And in between, it will be guaranteed to be positive. Why? Because it has a negative leading coefficient. If you just, for the purpose of the sign, you graph this function, it's positive between solutions and it's negative outside. So then I have to determine this. So I put the function in the graphing calculator now. I'll share. So in y equals, clear everything, and I'm putting in this new function, so negative 0.039 x to the third, and then minus, no, sorry, plus 0.594 x squared, and then minus now 1.967 x and plus 7.555, and then I want to evaluate for 0, for 2.1, for 8.1, and for 10. Okay, for 0 I have 7.55, for 2.1 I have 5.68, for 8.1 I have 9.87, and for 10 I have 8.29. Only now I'm checking my work. You like the table or not? I think it's not my invention. I will not take credit for it. But I think it's a brilliant situation to check your work and have everything right in front of you. So 7.55 to 5.6, yep, that's correct. 5.6 to 9, yep, that's correct. 9 to 8, yes, that's correct. So it turns out that this is a relative min. It turns out that this is a relative max. And this is nothing, and this is nothing. So this is also the absolute minimum, and this is also the absolute maximum. So we were asked to find the maximum. So we're going to say that the maximum is, so if x equals 0 represents 2003, 8 years later, in 2011, the absolute max happens. If we are asked to find the absolute min, yes, we will say that 5 years after 2003, but this is not the question. We're not asked to do that. But in 2008, we get the absolute minimum.